On YouTube, this is Top523 here, and I am bringing you the Week 7 matchup between us, the Atlanta Barriers, versus the New England Patrats and our good friend Berk. Now, before we get into the battle, I want to say that this was probably going to be the hardest battle I was going to have throughout the whole entire season. I didn't see any way of us winning this battle, if I'm being honest. I was very, very hesitant about this battle. I did not think we were going to win at all. He's one of the toughest opponents I've ever had in this league. I mean, we beat the Calgary Flamethrowers, which I had the same fear about last week, but I feared more of the New England Patriots team than I did the Calgary Flamethrowers team. No offense, Hayden. But so I wanted this back. When I went to this match, I was like, okay, looking at his team, he has so many bulky mons. He has Mega Venusaur, he has Vaporeon, he has Cofagrigus. Azelf can be defensive. You could run defensive Excadrill if you really wanted to. Scrafty can be defensive on the physical and special side. So it was like, I need pretty much hyper offense at this point. That was my whole goal in this battle. I don't want to bring any bulk. I don't need bulk. I just need stuff to hit hard as a truck. So that pretty much goes into my team here. Now, I normally don't do team builds, but I feel like for this week I sort of needed to do a team build just to show you all exactly what I did. So here we have Natsu the Charizard, or Mega Charizard X, with Dragon Dance, Flare Blitz, Earthquake, and Outrage. I did Adamant instead of Jolly because I knew after a plus one, I pretty much outsped everything on his team except for, I want to say, a Choice Scarf, Excadrill. I don't remember how Excadrill's speed is. I'm gonna look that up. I can't remember the top of my head now. I know I pretty much outsped everything after a plus one. But he has the sand up, which that was one thing I seen. He has two mons that can benefit from the sand really well in Scrafty and Excadrill. So I was like, I need to possibly outspeed it when it's in the sand. Excadrill speed is 88. So even after one Dragon Dance, I should outspeed because it's the same as a Choice Scarf one. I might not though, but if I can get two up, I should be able to outspeed everything. Maybe if it was in the sand. If not in the sand, then I just had to work around that. But I knew I can outspeed everything, so I didn't need to be Jolly. I can just be Adamant. Just to get my extra power, firepower. I have Flare Blitz, Earthquake, and Outrage. Flare Blitz mainly for the extra drill, and everything else is for stab. Earthquake for stuff like the extra drill again, or the Mega Venusaur. Can do a lot of damage to that. And Outrage as well. I don't think... let me pull up something real quick. I probably should pull this up beforehand. If I'm being honest. Let me look up his team real quick. I'm gonna let you all know what his team is. I probably should have this up beforehand, but you know, whatever. Draft. So his team is Mega Venusaur, Excadrill, Azelf, Togekiss, Vaporeon, Entei, Thunderous Eye, Scrafty, Cofagrigus, Tyrantrum, and Kecleon. Now, when I was originally going into this team, I was thinking, okay, Mega Venusaur I can see coming. Excadrill I can see coming. Azelf I can see coming. Togekiss I can see coming. Vaporeon I can see coming. Entei I can see coming. Thunderous Eye I can see coming. Scrafty I can see coming. Cofagrigus I can see coming. Tyrantrum I can see coming. And Kecleon was like the one thing I don't think he would bring, just because he knows I can hit it really hard with a lot of things and take it out. But everything else I knew he could possibly bring, so I had to plan for everything. That's why it was so difficult, because all my other matches I was like, okay, I can pretty much see what they're gonna bring. I know majority of the stuff they're gonna bring. Here he could bring anything, and I was gonna fear it. So the Outrage, I knew that he brought the Togekiss. I would have just not been able to go for Outrage whenever I wanted. So that sort of sucked for me. But, you know, it was, that was one thing I was worried about, was, like, bringing Outrage. Like, I should have brought Dragon Claw just in case I don't lock myself in Outrage, so I don't have to force my, stuck there and die to anything. But, you know, like, we'll just run Outrage, whatever. I just won't go for it until the Togekiss is gone. Next, we had the Gengar, who's holding a Choice Scarf this week. I knew that with the Choice Scarf... Choice Scarf, Timid, Max Speed, I should, possibly, I'm sure, I'm not 100% on that, outspeed a lot of things in the sand. I won't be able to outspeed the Azelf, which sort of sucks, but I should be able to outspeed, like, the Scrafty if it's Scarfed, the Excadrill if it's Scarfed, stuff like that. I'm rocking the Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Sludge Wave. I'm rocking Dazzling Gleam for the Scrafty, but I'm running Psychic just for the Venusaur. Mainly due to the fact that I needed ways to hit it both on the physical side and special side so that I don't limit myself. It's like, oh, well, I only have one way to deal with it, and that's for physical, but it's a physical defensive one, or vice versa with special. So I was like, I need ways to hit it on both sides. So this was my key to hitting it on the special side. Well, one of them, I had 2 mons to do it. This was one of them. Being Twist Scarf, I knew I could outspeed everything. I didn't want to risk anything, so I was Twist Scarf it, max speed, no speed creeping, just max speed everything. And then everything else is just simple coverage. Sludge Wave for the Togekiss, Dialing Link for the Scrafty, Shadow Ball for the Azelf if for some reason he wants to switch in on it. Shadow Ball can hit really hard on the Vaporeon, other things like that. So, I mean, it was just a standard Gengar set, just with Choice Scarf. Pretty much what it was. And I have Vin Diesel, the Metagross, Choice Scarf as well, because I knew at a Choice Scarf I should be able to outspeed a max speed Jolly Excadrill, not Excadrill, Scrafty. Was it Scrafty? I was able to outspeed something. I don't remember what it was now. But I was able to outspeed something with only 32 speed and Jolly, so I don't remember what it was though. So I was able to put enough into HP so that would be perfectly fine to eat up hits. And then max attack, just so I can hit really hard. Zen Headbutt, Earthquake, Meteor Mash. I don't really want to run Bullet Punch, just because, unless I'm running a Choice Bandit set, I don't really want to run Bullet Punch. So, like, Meteor Mash is fine. I think I was able to outspeed Togekiss with this set. And hit it with Meteor Mash. I don't remember. I also have Thunder Punch for the Togekiss if you want to switch that in. I knew he had the Thundurus, which has Volt Absorbs. Oh, possibly has Volt Absorb. I don't remember if he does. I know he has Prankster. I think it's Prankster and Volt Absorb, while the other ones are different. I should have all this stuff pulled up, but, you know, I don't normally do this sort of thing, like team build stuff. No, he's Prankster and Defiant. So I don't know why I was figuring Volt Absorb. I think his Incarnate form has it. I mean, the Therian form has it. The Incarnate doesn't. I thought it did. But I mean, Thunder Punch can still hit the Vaporeon really hard, which is another reason why I brought it. So this was Vin Diesel, just Choice Scarf. I don't know why I put it only 32. I cannot remember. I made this team like a week ago. About a week ago. So, next we have Crocodile, which apparently I didn't give a nickname. Okay, I thought I gave a nickname, apparently I didn't. So we have a Life Orb Intimidate set. Normally it's weird to run Life Orb Intimidate. You normally want to run like Life Orb Moxie, just so you can get the boost with it from the Life Orb and the Moxie boost. But I was running Intimidate just because if that Scrafty wants to set up, or if I need to weaken the Excadrill so I can live a hit from something and deal a lot of damage to it. So I believe with 32 HP, 32 in HP, I should be able to live a hit from the Excadrill. Excuse me. So that's why I did that. I knew with being 303, I should be able to outspeed an Excadrill by 1 point. So I was like, alright, cool. And then, if he's not Scarf, that is. If he's just max speed, jolly. And then max attack again. Running Earthquake for multiple things, and also Stab. Knockoff was for mainly the Azelf. Stone Edge for the Thundurus, and then Thunderfang for the Vaporeon. Because if I can outspeed and get a lot of damage off the Vaporeon if it's specially defensive, that'd be perfectly great. But normally it's run physical. But I was like, you know, why not? Just run Thunderfang on there just in case. You never know what can happen. Also, it's for the Togekiss as well. Thunderfang can do a lot of damage. So normally Togekiss is run specially defensive. So a Thunderfang or Stone Edge will do a lot of damage to it. If I didn't want to risk the miss, just go for Thundervade. Not Thunderfang. I know it possibility of paralyzing and possibility of flinching, so why not? And then we have Capone the Honchkrow, Choice Bandit set. I brought the exact same thing I brought last week. Except this week I brought Stone Edge, just so I can, not Stone Edge, Steel Wing, so I can hit the Togekiss with something with the Honchkrow. And with the Choice Bandit set, I should be able to do a lot of damage to it. And then Sucker Punch, Spray Bird, and Night Slash, just typical stuff. Night Slash, Super Luck, hopefully get a crit on something and do a lot of damage to it. Brave Bird, just for, he has so many things I can, just does not want to take a Brave Bird. Sucker Punch for Stab. We saw how it worked last week. Sucker Punch can come really handy with Choice Band, so that's pretty much his set. Max HP almost just due to, 2 points off due to, 4 points off technically due to Stealth Rocks, just make it odd. And then Max Attack, Adamant. I don't need to be jolly when I'm running a Choice Band set. Just make it Adamant. And then we have Aang, Assault Vest this week. I didn't want to bring a bulky, like, it's somewhat bulky, being Assault Vested with max HP and 8 in special defense, but I wanted a bulky an Assault Vest set so I can switch between moves and not have to worry, and I have coverage for everything. Scald for Stab, also for Entei. Ice Beam for the Thunderous, for the Excadrill, for the which I can also just run Scald for. Also the Togekiss. Air Slash for the Venusaur. This is my other specially attacking mon for the Venusaur. If you want to run a physical defensive Mega Venusaur, I have Air Slash on here. And with that, I had to run a Relaxed Nature since only Air Slashes you can get on a Suicune through an event. So I had to run a Relaxed Nature, so that increases defense and lowers speed, which I guess isn't too bad, but I'm not putting anything into defense or anything into speed, so it's like, what do? And then Shadow Ball for the Azoth. I knew I can live any hit from the Azoth. If you want to run Thunderbolt, I can live a hit from it due to the Assault Vest and max HP, and hit it with some max special attack, Shadow Ball, do a lot of damage to it. So that was the team. Let's go ahead and get into the matchup, shall we? Now, I don't know why I can never get Showdown to work so that it's my Mons on our side, so you don't have to see, so you don't have to look at my Mon doing the damage. But we run at normal speed like always. Now, when I was looking at his team, I was like, okay, I don't see the Togekiss, so I can freely outrage on everything once I get a Dragon Dance up. I didn't see the Cofagrigus, so again, all my physical attackers are good because now I don't have to worry about Mummy. I have to worry about, oh great, well there goes my ability. Which honestly with the Crocodile, I don't really care since it's Intimidate, not Moxie. Wouldn't really matter to me. So I can just switch him out and I'll still have the Intimidate again. Which I can understand why he didn't bring the Cofagrigus due to so many of my Dark types. But I guess that's why he brought Azelf, is because he can get, I completely forgot I got Dazzling Gleam. So I was like, okay. And then I saw Vaporeon and Venusaur, so I was assuming Venusaur was a specially bulky set, while Vaporeon was a physically bulky set. Physical defensive set, while Venusaur was a specially defensive set. I don't know why I said bulky there. That was just weird. I don't know. So I was like, well, those must be his defensive mon. So I was like, okay, well, I can probably hit it with a Zen Headbutt from Metagross or a Brave Bird from Honchkrow, and I'd be fine. But looking at this, I was like, I don't really know what I should send in. I didn't bring Superpower this week, so I didn't really have anything to hit the Excadrill with my Honchkrow. But I believe that's what I let off with, because he let off with the Scrafty. I was like, okay, sweet. 2-minute drop, that's fine, but even with the Choice Bandit with the 2-minute drop, I should do a lot of damage to something. So I just went for Brave Bird to hit everything really hard. And it did about 54%. I was like, okay, cool. I'm okay with that. But I was like, I don't want to stay in here and get burned, so I'm going to switch out. And I went into Suicune. I was like, I can eat up any water hit he wants to throw my way. But he actually switches out. He double outs into his Thunderous. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll just go for Ice Beam. Super effective, do a lot of damage to it. She goes for a Substitute. I was like, alright, whatever. I knew I could live a hit from it, so that's why I stayed in. And he go, okay. This is where it starts for Berk. I went for Ice Beam, thinking if he stays in, won't get a lot of damage off on me. That's perfectly fine. He knows I can be especially bulky, so it probably wouldn't kill. It's probably Finger Mirror Coat, so it's probably why I switched out. Or knowing that Ice Beam possibly will kill. So I go for the Ice Beam. It doesn't do a whole lot, but I get the freeze. I was like, oh, this sucks for him. So I switched out. I went to Gengar. I was like, okay, cool. I can throw into Gengar, be fine. But he doubles out into Vaporeon. I was like, alrighty then. He switches out again and goes into Venusaur, which is like, what did I go for? I went for a Shadow Ball. And so that's how I knew he was especially bulky Venusaur. So I was like, alright, cool. I'll just switch out into Metagross since I'm Choice Scarfed into Shadow Ball. Goes for a knockoff. There goes my Choice Scarf. Metagross. Whatever. I went for the Zen Headbutt, but he went to Scrafty. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Clear Body, I don't have to worry about Attack Drop, but Zen Headbutt doesn't do anything. So I switched out, and I think at this point I went into Crocodile. If he wants to Dethaw, then that's perfectly fine, but he doesn't. So I was like, alright, I'll just go for a free knockoff on something. It's fine by me. Knockoff. I took out the Thunderous. So okay. So I took out the Thunderous, and that's perfectly fine. And so he switches back in, that gets the Intimidate off. I was like, oh cool, I can go into Honchkrow now. Go for a Brave Bird, hit something really hard. He goes back into Vaporeon. I was like, that's perfectly fine. Go for a Night Slash. Now I'm locked in Night Slash. He went for a Scald. No burn. If you got the burn here, that would have sucked for me. But I mean, I would have evened out the Haxes. So I was like, alright, cool. Now he knows that I was locked in. He possibly thought, seeing how much damage that did, I was probably Choice Banded. So he knew it was like, okay, I'll just go for Night Slash. So I was like, well, I'm going to try to save this thing for later, because I need it for the Venusaur. So he's still frozen solid. I was like, okay, whether he wants to Dethaw or not, I'm just going to go for a Dragon Dance. I can eat up any hit probably, and then dish a lot of damage out. Still frozen solid. I was like, I don't want to get greedy in case he wakes up, so I just went for a Flare Blitz just for safe coverage. Down goes the Vaporeon. I was like, alright, cool. That works. I'm not upset by that. He gets the Intimidate drop again. I was like, alright. I'll go for another Dragon Dance. Now I can outspeed everything now, definitely. And he's still frozen solid. I was like, this sucks for Berk. Went for a Flare Blitz. At this point, I knew, I looked at the calculations, it did exactly 100%. So there's no matter what, that Mega Venusaur was going to go down. So he comes back in, goes for, just get the Intimidate drop. That's why he keeps on switching it out and letting things die, so he can do that. But at this point, I was like, alright, I knew that he would probably switch out, so let me just go for a Flare Blitz, no matter what comes in. Taking a lot of recoil damage, which sort of sucks. Here, I probably should have gone for the Outrage. I had a chance of killing, but I was like, I didn't want to risk it. So I just took out, I knew I could kill it with a Flare Blitz, and I went down myself. Now, here, I was like, okay, I should be able to live any hit from this thing. I should be fine. But he gets a crit with a Dazzling Gleam, which sort of sucks for me. But I knew that there's no way he would win this battle. I can just go into here, Sucker Punch, Choice Bandit, take it out. And we won 4-0. Charizard getting 4 kills this week, and Honchkrow getting 1, and Crocodile getting 1. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm okay with this. So now we are 3-4. We are tied with Berk for the wildcard position now. The only thing is he still has the wildcard spot due to differential. But now we're at -4. We're at -5 differential. We're at -9. So now we're at -4 differential, -5 differential. He's at 5 differential. So I have he has to lose 5-0 next week, and we win 5-0 just for us to even out the differential. But if he loses one game and I win out, we're in the playoffs. It's pretty much just me and him fighting for that wildcard spot. Because neither one of us are able to catch up to the people that are in our division, holding the division conference title. So it's pretty much at this point we're just fighting to see who is going to the playoffs for the wild card. If I don't make it into the playoffs, that's perfectly fine. I'm just glad our season's going a lot better now than it was in the beginning of the season, because we struggled that first 5 weeks. We really did. We got 1 win and then 4 losses, and now we won the last 2 matches. So now we're 3-4. So if we win one more match, if we win next week, and we're going against Damon, who is not doing too well now. He was undefeated for a while, but now he's sort of dropping a little bit. If we can beat him, we will be 4-4 and have a better chance of getting to the playoffs at that point. Because Berk still has to go against Xavier at some point. And Xavier, who's still undefeated, has a good chance of beating Berk. So if he beats Berk and we win out, we're in the playoffs. And then we'll have to, I think, go against the number 2 seed or something like that. I think we're going against the number 2 seed, which will most likely be our division rival in the Atlanta Shock. So if we get to that point, we'll see what happens. But I'm just happy. Our team is working a lot better. Now we have the 2 new additions of Crocodile and Metagross, which all the mons hit the field. Nothing did not hit the field. It's just, I guess I got unlucky with the crit there from the Crocodile. And then if I went for Outrage, I would have outsped the A's off if he was Choice Scarfed. I would have outsped, because times 2, he would only been times 1.5. So I would have outsped. Outrage, if it killed the extra drill, I would have been fine. But if it didn't, then I could just come in and Sucker Punch a whole bunch of times and be fine. But it's whatever. It works. Is what it is. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button down below, and I'll see you all in the next video.